Wait a minute! Here comes Riptide! Here comes Riptide! Wham! Down goes Special Ed! And what an axe handle! And this is one girl you don't want to mess with, Tara.
That's true. I have officiated a match with her, a ladder match, in fact. And let me tell you, there were times when I did indeed fear for my safety.
And Riptide and Amy Lee, I have seen them wrestle before, Tara, and they hit hard. They do not hold anything back. They don't leave anything in the locker room. We're talking about two tough girls that have no love lost for one another whatsoever.
You're certainly right there. Amy Lee, she is as tough as they come, which is one of the reasons why I admire her so much.
And I would imagine that you admire Riptide in the same vein because she is as tough as they come.
This is true. Although she did just run out there and pick on poor Special Ed for no reason.
Poor Special Ed, he brought it on himself. He's handicapped. He's crippled, Tara. He should just sit back and collect welfare.
He has
like
the
rest
same
of them.
rights as everybody else. How dare you belittle him like that?
And what a chop by prime time Amy Lee. Riptide trained by the legendary Rod Price in the dojos of Louisiana. And you know that he is fully aware. She knows how to fight. She knows how to brawl. You know she was there every day, Tara, and she put her time into that dojo.
Okay, and where did that get her? Where did that get her? She's beating up on crippled people, for God's sake. That's wrong.
She's rescuing them. She should have a cape on.
Rescuing my ass.
She should have Lucky's cape on.
Well, you know what? I think she'd look better in Lucky's cape than he does, because frankly, he looks ridiculous in that homemade piece of crap costume.
Well, Tara, I would agree with you.
Oh, come on now. Look at this. She's taking their crutches. I think that Lucky's going to need those crutches to get out of here tonight. That's just not fair.
They make wheelchairs, Tara. And that toaster being thrown into the
Come
ring.
on, are we going to see the kitchen sink next?
We could. We could see anything here on WEW pay-per-view. It's pay-per-view, Tara. We can do anything.
Is this dumb referee gonna say anything? Is this okay?
What a shot! What a shot! Out of the park! Out of the park!
Look at that! The crutch didn't even bend, but it sure as hell did break!
And did you see her? She was watching that ball sail the park. That one went out of here, Tara. Her average is up to 1,000. She's batting 1,000 here tonight on pay-per-view.
Well, you know what? Even though Amy Lee's got some thick skin on her body.
Oh, she has a lot of thick skin. Are you saying she's stout?
Skin. She felt those blows by that crutch. I guarantee it.
Well, she did call herself fat earlier tonight, Tara, although she put a P and an H in front of that 18.
Nothing wrong with that.
Chair to the back. Chair to the back. Amy Lee is probably discombobulated at this time for taking all those shots and can't put all of her full power and energy into that chair.
Which may be good for Riptide. After all, she doesn't have such thick skin on her back to protect her spine.
What are you talking about? Look at the body of Riptide. In tremendous shape. Not an ounce of fat on her.
All right, I'm not looking at her.
Are you hating? Are you hating on Riptide? You fatty like the other girls back there talking about girls' bodies and picking apart flaws.
I would never talk about that because there's no point in it. I mean, after all, I'm perfect, so why talk about anybody else?
How could I forget?
We all know.
How could I forget? And
No
taking
one
her.
said you were the brightest.
No, and nobody said you were perfect either, Tara.
All these fans out here sure said
How
so.
did you get here?
See the signs?
Did you win an eBay auction? How did you get here? What are you doing here,
Please, I was hired to come out and save you. You need me out
It's
here.
worse and worse every month with these color people they send me. First it's Jeffrey, first it's Joe Gerner. He doesn't say a word. Then it's Jeffrey J. James. He says too much. And now this. Look at her. She's imitating him. She's imitating him like charades.
There's nothing wrong with that. Come on, she's just letting everybody
You find that funny?
I find it very amusing.
G.O.D.
Schoolgirl. Schoolgirl from behind. Schoolgirl from behind.
Now look, these tramps here in women's
Tramps?
wrestling, they may want to rearrange these names and call it a schoolgirl, but it's a schoolboy. That's what it is. That's the way it's been since wrestling began, so get it right.
In WEW, Tara, they tell us to call it a schoolgirl. And unfortunately, that memo came from Commissioner Smoke.
Well, if it came from him, I guess he must be okay.
As long as he keeps his pants on.
And his shirt down. Oh,
Absolutely.
I've got to say, I am appalled by that.
It was hard, Tara. It was hard. And Amy Lee now taking
manhandling Riptide.
She sure is. And that is the kind of action you see between these two. It's like an old school brawl, like the old school days when you had two wrestlers in the locker room that both bragged about how tough they were. And the promoter, maybe it was Bill Watts, maybe it was Eddie Graham, they said, all right, tough guys, get in the ring and settle it there. That's what we have here tonight on pay-per-view.
And these two girls are known for their hardcore matches. Both of them have been around for quite some time.
Absolutely. And the thing about them, Tara, is neither one of them are here for fan approval or to sell autographs or to take pictures. They're here to fight. They're here to brawl. And this is almost like a perfect marriage between these two.
That's right. And, you know, Amy Lee, she's had this sidekick now for quite some time. And, well, how he's referred to Special Ed, although I don't think he's mentally handicapped.
No, he's physically handicapped, Tara.
Right. So he shouldn't be called Special Ed.
Right.
She's had him as her sidekick for quite some time, and we've seen the two of them walk away unscathed from many an event.
But how about the matches with Riptide? I mean, let's talk about it. Let's talk about rivalries. You and Candy, sometimes, Tyra, put yourself into the mind of Amy Lee or Riptide. Does the anticipation of wrestling an opponent that you hate so much, like you and Candy, the rivalry you had, sometimes it's become too much where you forget about your game plan and sometimes forget about the things that brought you to the dance?
Sometimes it does, you're right. Sometimes you get out there and you're just fueled with such a rage and such hatred and animosity that you forget. You forget where you are. You forget that there's thousands of people watching you. When you're out there, it's just you and the person that you hate more than anything. And I'll tell you what, Riptide has that fire, but she has not half the fire that Amy Lee has. Because when she's in the ring, all she wants to do is pummel, level, and obliterate her opponent, no matter who that person is.
Well, I'll tell you something, Tara. Unfortunately, I've had the unfortunate pleasure of knowing Primetime Amy Lee for about 16 years, believe it or not. The very first time I met her, she was slapping around guys, beating up men, just on the street. She is that kind of a girl.
And that was when she was just 8.
Absolutely. I mean, Tara, she comes in here. A lot of people think that wrestling, you have your personas and your characters. This isn't her character. This is really her.
Now, no one said she wasn't tough. She certainly is tough. You know, where are these camera guys? I can't see what the hell is happening.
We have a low budget here at WEW. God forbid they give us a monitor, Tara.
Because let me tell you, if I'm going to be up here, I have to have my eyes on exactly what's happening in the ring.
Yeah, why don't you take it up a Commissioner Smoke? He gives us nothing. He gives us a cheap table, a water bucket, and 2 chairs that I could have gotten out of my gym class and expressed it through commentary.
I don't know what he thinks. You know, I will have to speak with him, and I'm sure that I'll be able to resolve the issue.
Thank you very much.
So you can't send a man in there to do a woman's job, that's for sure.
He's not going to listen to me. Never has, never will. I have no influence around here. Zero.
That's right. Good. Glad to
Nobody
know that
listens
you
to
know your place. I'm so happy to hear that. Finally, a man who knows his place in life.
Now, what about these nurses? Could you imagine, Tara, if Amy Lee was off of her feet, she was unconscious, and one of these nurses had to revive her and give her mouth-to-mouth?
I'd rather not imagine that. Come on.
I mean, personally, I'd rather imagine those girls giving each other mouth-to-mouth, but could you imagine what the look on Amy Lee's face if she looked up and saw one of those nurses with their mouth on hers?
And as she reached her hand and clasped their throat in it and tried to kill them? Yes, I'd love to see that, because that's exactly what Amy Lee would do if one of those hoes ever tried to put their lips on her.
And Amy Lee, now listen to those shots. We can hear them all the way here at our broadcast position.
Finally, we can hear some.
I'm ruling this a double disqualification as of now.
What did she say? I can't understand Spanish.
I think she said a double disqualification.
A double disqualification?
Wait a minute. Doesn't she know that you have to count to 10? We didn't see her count. We didn't hear her count. She hasn't done her job all night, and she expects us to buy this crap. Oh.
You know, Tara, I think I've seen better officiating out of you than what I've seen so far tonight.
You know what? I have been the best referee here at Women's Extreme Wrestling. Let me tell you, I have been the best. I have come out here not even trained as a referee. I have been a wrestler, and I have come out here and been the best referee that this organization has ever seen.
With the exception of being completely unfair and being completely biased, you're correct.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I do my job to the utmost of my abilities. I call it like I see it.
Tara, let's recap a little bit here. They're already brawling. They're continuing this fight. It's WEW big enough for these two women?
I don't know, but if both of them try to go through the door at the same time, it sure as hell isn't going to be big enough.
You know, it's funny. I'll think back to the first time I called a Tara and Candy match, and those were the same words that I said as you two crawled to the back. I said, is WEW big enough for the two of you? Obviously, you're here tonight, and one of you aren't. Is WEW big enough for these two? We'll have to see. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
She's
What's
standing on the
Riptide
fans
doing?
of the chairs. Riptide is obviously sending a message that she's standing tall and that she has declared herself the winner.
She certainly does seem to have the crowd support behind her. Although maybe a little bit more behind her than she would have intended.
Tara.